What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, for those of you who's in movie about, yeah, you are seeing a different view, you are seeing a different size. My apologies, because like I told you guys, hey, we were starting the Johnny Eliassaint show today, and this is an English show. And I appreciate your support, and I appreciate that you're here, and I appreciate that you're present. This show, it's about pretty much everything. Yep. The reason we're doing this show is because a lot of people have been requesting for us to do something different. They wanted us to see us in a different light. They wanted to see us in a different platform. They wanted to see what our capabilities, and they miss us on the other side. So we decided, listen, let's share the love, because we have enough, right, to give to everybody. Let's do that, and let's share with one another, and let's talk to one another, and help each other progress. And this is the reason why we are doing this show. And this is the first episode. So if you're lucky enough to make it on the first episode, I want to say thank you so much. And this is the first series too. Now, keep in mind, I've done plenty of the shows, and this show probably something very, very special to me. Okay, because not only because it's carrying my name, so I have to do the best I can to make it the best it can ever be. Okay, so that's the objective, that's the goal. So there's a few things I want to explain to you guys how it's going to happen and how we're going to do this to help you navigate this. Okay, now first of all, let me see where I'm at. I'm currently live on LinkedIn right now. To the folks in LinkedIn, hi, hello. I cannot bring the LinkedIn comment on my screen. I don't know why. I'm alive also on my regular YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, and I'm also live on the Ouvri Barrier channel as well. And then I think we're live on the Facebook page as well. So this is all of the area that we are currently live. Now, this show is gonna be a little bit different, and this series is gonna be different. The way we're going to do it. Before I tell you exactly how we're gonna do it, let me say hello. A unique hello. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. So basically, this show is what you probably will call a podcast, but it is a podcast with a twist, right? And what do I mean by a podcast with a twist? A podcast with a twist, this is usually when you're watching a podcast, right? You just get the edited version. So the polished version. The stuff will look perfect to you. So that's what you get when you're watching a podcast. Okay. But the way we're doing this show, we're giving you a chance to watch a live podcast. So what do I mean by a live podcast? The show is gonna be recorded today, right? It's live right now. So if you happen to watch it right now, we are live. So you're gonna watch it live. You're gonna see what we do. We're gonna have a pre-show, of course. What we're doing right now is the pre-show, telling you exactly what to expect and how it's gonna go. So the pre-show, that's when we talk to you. We say thank you for being here. We introduce ourselves. Probably when we have guests, introduce the guests as well, and tell you what we're going to talk about and the expectation and how it's going to go. So doing the that's the pre-show. Now when we switch to the podcast, which is it's going to go smooth, I'm just going to put a marker and say, okay, the podcast about to start. Okay, so we can get the clean version of the podcast, so we won't have to uh edit too much, right? So, and that portion is going to be the subject that we are talking about in the podcast. I will not be able to look at the my computer screen as much, but you can still ask questions. You can still comment. I will have a Q&A portion. That's the third portion of it, right? A Q&A portion where you can add questions, okay? And the Q&A portion where where we can discuss what we were talking, maybe myself or maybe because of my guest. So whatever we're discussing, that's when we're going to discuss it in the Q&A portion. The last part of it is the after show. The after show, that's when everything is done, but I stay around a little bit just to kick it, just to have a conversation, just to enjoy yourself. Now, for those of you who's coming from Ouvri Barrier right now, you're probably asking yourself, what's going on? Why today the show is in English? Well, remember I told you, okay, the first 3 episodes of the show, that the Johnny Eliassaint show, the first 3 episodes, they're going to be in English. And well, the whole episode gonna be the whole show is in English, but the first three episodes going to be on Ouvre Barrière. Okay, but after the first three episodes, this show right here you are watching will not be on Ouvre Barrière anymore. Okay, it will be on the on my channel, which is the Journey E channel. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. If I can bring it to the screen really quick. So a lot of you was asking me, which YouTube you talking about? So it's this channel right here. Okay, so this is the channel. This is where the show gonna resign. This is where the podcast gonna resign. That's where you're going to see it. But the first three episodes, because we wanted to give it a caveat for our people that has been supporting us in Ouvre Barrière day in and day out. Okay, so we wanted to give them a chance to participate in the show. Delva, my friend, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for being here. MJ in the house. Hi, MJ. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, so anyway, guys, for those who don't know, MJ is my wife. So she stopped by to say to show love. Well, hey, I got to take a pause and show some love. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to it. So this is the way it's going to run, and I hope you understand. And if you don't understand, ask the question now, because listen, this is a big step. Okay, and we have like a great lineup for you guys. Not today because the show is already scheduled. We have sent multiple requests, and we have received a lot of requests too for people to participate on the show, for them to bring you a lot of information. Okay, so those people who already sent us the feedback, who already responded to our invitation, we are working on scheduling them, when they need to be here, how to be here. Hi, Aesthetic Lab. Hi, Aesthetic Lab. Okay, when they need to be here and what time to be here, and you're gonna have a great lineup. Like next week, the guests we have next week, let me tell you, if you're talking about healthcare, if you're talking about insurance, if you want to know how to get the bucks for your bang, right? Or the bang for your bucks, just the way they say it. Okay. If you want to know how you can spend your healthcare dollars, I'm telling you, next week you need to be here, okay? Because that's we're gonna have somebody big to be here to discuss this information with you. Okay, one more time, let's go over the show. This is the pre-show. I am telling you, this is being recorded live. You are live. You are in the studio with us. You are what we call the live audience. And in a few minutes, I am going to switch to the podcast. I'm not leaving. I'm just basically putting a marker and then talking about the subject. Okay, the subject we're going to talk about today is perfection. As you can see on the schedule, you see I wrote down perfection. So we're going to discuss it in depth. I'm going to give you my opinions, okay, and you might have a different opinion, and that's okay. But I'm gonna tell you, based on my experience, based on my story, what is like for me, and I hope you understand. Good evening. Good evening. How you doing, Lixon? Thank you for stopping by. All right, listening all the way from Jacksonville. Thank you for the love. Okay, so and after that, I'll take Q&A portion, and then we go from there. All right. So let me make sure we don't have any question under the live. No question right here. Let me check on those who's on LinkedIn. All right, LinkedIn is still chilling. All right, no problem for LinkedIn. So perfect. So all right, isn't it cool to be part of a live audience, to know what's going on? Because what happened, right? When you are listening to a podcast, okay, it's easy. But when you are on YouTube and you're watching a podcast and you see all of the action, all of the small detail, the perfection, right? That's what you see. You see the perfection, okay? You don't get to see that part like we're doing right now. Because I have to tell you, to put this together was very, very challenging, okay? To set it up, to do all of the production, to get the everything to come to place on time, when I wanted to, how I wanted to, was challenging. But we made it happen, and I'm glad you stopped by, and I'm glad you here, and I'm glad you took the time to come here to see it. Okay, so all right, so what are we gonna do right now? We're about to start the podcast. When I start the podcast, remember, I'm only gonna be speaking. I'm only going to give my opinions. I'm only going to talk about the subject. You can still ask questions. You can still comment. Okay, I will Go after I finish with the podcast. I will do a Q&A to answer your questions and to go over your comment. And after that, that will be closing the portion of the show. And then we'll do the after show. All right. So, okay. So, all right. There we go. Okay. Let me mark this really quick. Where's my marker? Now it's not bringing my marker along. Okay. Shift Command M. Why is not bringing? You see, this is what we're gonna talk about. You see, now I'm trying to mark it. Let me see. Okay. Maybe M. Why is not bringing it? Hold on. There we go. All right. And mark it. All right. On three, we'll start the podcast. All right. Here we go. You ready? One, two, three. Here we go. Welcome to the Johnny Eliassaint Show. My name is Johnny E. It's a pleasure to have you with me this afternoon or wherever you're listening to me. Maybe it's morning where you're at. I don't know. Maybe it's even night. But hey, this is a brand new podcast, the Johnny Eliassaint Show or the Johnny Eliassaint Podcast. And thank you for being here and thank you for watching. For those of you who doesn't know, this podcast has been aired on YouTube as well, and it's a video podcast, and it's a podcast who have a live audience. We are recording our podcast live. If you ever want to participate, just come to the Johnny E YouTube channel, and you'll find the podcast, and you can participate with us. Tonight, we're going to talk about perfection. Okay, we are talking about breaking free from perfection. Like so many of you know, every time we're trying to do something, maybe starting a business, may it be a project, whatever it is, we want it to be perfect. And there's nothing wrong with that because the reality is we want what we're trying to get into to be the best as it can be. And as you know, many of us, like for example, myself, who's been in the military, uh, where everything have to be done right, where we don't have any room for mistake, where if you make a mistake, it may cause somebody life, somebody can get injured. So you built that culture where you're trying the best you can to be perfect. And they stay with you. It's not only just those of us, like when you take people in the medical field, okay, there's not much room for mistake. There's not much room for errors. Because of that, we feel like we have to be perfect. We have to make sure whatever we're doing, we do it right. In those instances, yes, perfection is necessary, in my opinion. But however, that perfection that is so necessary can sometimes hinder your progress. It can sometimes affect the stuff that you want to get done. It can slow you down just because you are suffering from perfection, just like me, just like you watching this podcast and saying, oh, wow, that's true. So I'm going to give myself as an example. Every time I'm trying to create something, as it may be as a content creator, may it be as a business owner, I want it to be a certain way. And if it's not that certain way, it stopped me from moving forward because the little detail, I'm always stuck on it. So what ended up happening, what I've learned, as I'm stuck and trying to figure out how to move forward, how to change what I need to change, how to make it perfect, how to make it the way I want it to be, my starting time is decreasing or is increasing. The stuff was matter the most are not getting done. So many of us, as I was researching this to come talk to you guys about it, I saw somebody who quote the word perfection paralysis, where you're so stuck in that perfection that you can't move forward, that the project that you have, that the the business you wanted to start, the acting career you wanted to go into, the whatever it was, it is at a standstill just because you find yourself in a situation where you don't know should you go left or should you go right. So because of that, you stuck. And how do you move forward from it? How do you manage to break free, to to change the current dynamics, to put it in this, to put yourself in a situation where it's okay if it's missing a period. It's okay if it's missing the corner. It's okay if you didn't see X, Y, and Z. It's okay to learn as you're going through it. Many of us, many of us will have been so far in life, but we let perfection hold us back. Now, a lot of people, a lot of experts are gonna tell you otherwise, and there's no problem with that. But I can tell you, me from experience, perfection really, 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 really hold me back. And this is the reason why on this first episode I wanted to talk about it, because finally I break free. I don't need to be perfect anymore. I don't need it to be the way I've seen other people have it. Because when you seeking for perfection, you are comparing yourself sometimes with a lot of people. I'm gonna give you an example. As a live producer, as a content creator, every time I'm creating something and I'm looking at the big channels, right? That what they're creating, how they're creating it, the professionals. But I tend to forget that those professionals have millions and millions of dollars budget. Okay. Those professionals, maybe one camera probably worth my whole studio. you know, and even them, they are not perfect. Even them, they make a lot of mistakes during the production. Even them, as you sometimes you don't even see if they make a mistake unless you're on that field. I say, oh, that's odd. Okay. But because the audience probably don't even see it. But the show must go on. So this is what I'm trying not to do anymore. Is that comparison? If say, hey, look at CNN, hey, look at Fox News, hey, look at this big podcaster. How did it make do this, that? Mine need to be a little bit more better, a little bit more perfect. In the meantime, you can't move forward. In the meantime, you are stuck. In the meantime, your project is still on your table. What you wanted to start is still sit down right there. The plan is still on your lap, and you cannot start because you want it to be a certain way and you want it to be perfect. And that perfection, like I said, it's okay in certain categories. But at some point, you have to let it go so you can move forward. You have to manage it well. So mentally, mentally, you can highlight your mistakes, you can highlight your shortfalls, but still maintain a professional growth. I want to thank you for listening to our first episode, and I welcome you to subscribe to us and to participate with us on our live audience. I see you on the next episode. Thank you. And stop. All right, guys. You see, nice, sweet, and simple. Just like that, a very, 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 very short episode is recorded. And that short episode that we record today, I'm going to take it, and that's the part who's going to be the podcast. And this live audience will be the video. Now, questions for me. Do you have any questions? Okay, so if you have any questions, I got you guys coming from different area. So go ahead and ask those questions so I can answer it for you, because I love the interaction, right? I love communicating with one another. I love talking back and forth and answering question and asking question. That's my element. That's why I like this type of show when I do with them, because now I can discuss it with a guest. I can have a guest with me. I can ask them questions. They can answer and they can give me everything that I'm looking for, and you can get it too at the same time. All right. So let me see what's going on down here. Okay. Oh, I got the questions. How do how do you stay consistent if it's not perfection? If it's not okay, perfection. Okay, let me answer you. Uh, Consistency is necessary, but perfection is not what keep me consistent. Okay, now that's totally different. When I'm trying to do something and I want it to be as polished, as perfect as possible, or sometimes I won't even stop until it's the way it needs to be. That part is slowing me down. But consistency is able to show up day in and day out. Okay, no matter what, you keep it there. If you say you're gonna be there, you there. Okay, that's the consistency. If you say you're gonna do it, you do it, and you do it day in and day out at the time you say you're going to do it. That's the consistency. But that consistency is not being affected by perfection. However, the perfection can cause you not to be consistent, and that's the problem. Okay, so that perfection that you have, that things have to go my way, things have to be this and that and perfect. If you're trying to stay consistent, you're not gonna be able to, because you're gonna make mistakes. There's gonna be times you're not gonna get where you want to go. There's gonna be time that you're not gonna function the way you want to function. So in those situations, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you're still chasing that perfection. So now, as a result, it will affect your consistency. And the people you're doing business with, they prefer the consistency than the perfection. They prefer the consistency than the perfection, because it's better to be consistent. It's better to show up. It's better to be there. It's better to be present when you say you're going to be than to try to be perfect. Okay, like I could have said, man, I'm not coming here. Maybe I need a 3-piece suit. I need I did the latest and greatest camera, the best light possible, the dope background, and then I told you that I would be here at 8:30 tonight, and then I didn't show up. I didn't show up because I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like the set is not perfect. It's not the way I like it, so I'm not gonna show up. And guess what happened? You're not gonna come back next time. Hold on. Excuse me. You see, I got to get some water. This is the part. It was important to me. Hold on. The old me, who have this little tickle in my throat, was getting over. I don't know if it's a cold, if it's a flu, if it's allergy. I don't know what it is. Was getting over this. The old me, who was trying to be perfect, will not be here today. Okay, I will not be here today. I say, no, this is my voice doesn't sound like I want it to be sounded. Okay, my voice is it's weird. I might cough a little bit during the show. That's perfection, but it will affect the consistency, because I had promised you that I will be here. And those of you who take the time to come and sit down, I think I got a couple of you here still under the live who took the time to sit down. Let me see. Yep, we still got a couple people here with me who took the time to sit down here and listen to me and watch me. Okay, then what? Why? When I promised them I was about to be there. So that perfection you see how that perfection will affect the whole situation, the whole entire situation. So this is the reason why, like the person who asked the question about where can the perfection affect the consistency? Yeah, the perfection will affect the consistency in a negative way. Okay, most of the time in a negative way. Okay. Now, trust me, I know about perfection. I'm not telling people that it's not something good. I spent many times in the military. Listen, you don't have room. I think even my book kept thing was strive for perfection or something like that. That was or title or something. Okay, striving for perfection. Okay, so yeah, There's situation that is needed, but even in those situations, okay, hold on, some guys, even in those situations, okay, even in those situations, sometimes you got to get it done because it's all about the plan. It's all about how you move forward. It's all about how you stay again consistent, but deliver the product. How many of you probably well, who wanted to start something? Let's say I'm gonna give you an example, a business, but you want the business to start certain way, and you're watching somebody else is probably doesn't even know how to start all those paperwork you're telling them about, whatever. They just start. They're not worried about that perfection. They just start. And they're just booming and they're learning on the go. They're learning how to do X, Y, and Z. They're learning how to move things forward. They're learning valuable lessons that they can come back and be expert at it. Okay. And teach other people on how to avoid, the mistakes that they made. But the perfectionist is still waiting to start, is still not moving forward. So that's where the issue is, and sometimes that's where the problem is. All right, okay, all right. Thank you for being in the Q&A sessions. Thank you for your question. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? Any other more question? Okay. Oh, so hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on, guys. I'm pulling questions from other area. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Okay, what did this say? What did it say? Why? Okay, why a perfectionist? Why do you think a perfectionist? Why do you think a perfectionist have issue with creativity? Okay, let me answer this question. Why do you think perfectionists have an issue with creativity? I don't think the perfectionist somebody who's consider themselves perfectionists. I don't think they have an issue with creativity. I think the perfectionists have a big fear of failure. And that fear of failure, it's what stopping and starving their creativity. Because if you're afraid to fail, you're not you're not gonna move forward because the only way for you to be successful, you have to fail. And that perfectionist really, really, really scared. Okay, is really, really scared. It can't move forward, and it's okay. I'm telling you, I was one of them. Okay, I was one of them. So not anymore. Okay, at the same time, too, when you're a perfectionist, you are guaranteed to live in the world of procrastination. You procrastinate a lot. Okay, when you have a task at hand, you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to it, not today, maybe tomorrow. You tired, you looking at it, it's not the way you want it, you missing your deadline, you procrastinate a lot. And I know a lot of people, including myself, sometimes I procrastinate a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and not telling you that is part of the issue. Okay, yeah, you procrastinate a lot as a perfectionist. The other aspect too, self-criticism. Oh my God, you just criticize yourself from the beginning to the end. Everything you do, you don't see it that you did it right. That self-judgment, it's there. Okay, it's just eating you inside, and to the point that you stop, to the point that you're afraid to take risk. Okay, so again, you need the risk to be successful. You have that fear who's holding you back. You are afraid to take risk, and you're criticizing yourself. So all of those action is part of that being of is part of trying to have everything perfect. Okay, and and then to make matter worse, you also probably fall in the category where feedback become your enemy. Like when somebody give you feedback, it's almost like, how dare you? How can I didn't see this? How can I didn't do this? Oh no, you have excuses. Instead to have an open-minded approach or open-minded attitude to say, okay, all right, I see what it is the person is trying to help me. Okay, let me move forward. Now there's the big aspect of perfection that we did not talk about, is stress. It is stress. Burn out because you are trying to make this out day in and day out. You are creating it, and then you put the product out, and you don't see the result you wanted. As a perfectionist, you automatically blame yourself, and you blame yourself, and you're stuck in that category, and it's become very, very difficult for you to move forward. And then that end up creating an extensive burnout. You have a great amount of stress, and then you can't focus the way you want to focus. Okay, you can't move forward the way you want to move forward. Okay, so that's the problem. All right, let me see if we got any other questions. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see right here. Let's see right here. Okay, nope, that's not a question. All right. So what else? What else? What else you guys got for me? This is the Q&A section. Okay, so I think I don't see. No. No, that's not what I said. Okay, you need perfection to excel. No, that's not what I said. Being a perfectionist can help you. Okay, it can help you excel in many categories. Okay, all I'm saying is it can also affect your growth if you don't manage it well. Okay, if you let it push you in a corner and stop you from moving forward. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, yes, in certain category, remember in the beginning, I told you I needed it as being in the military. Okay. I needed it in certain category. But I also have to remember that there's other categories where I don't need it. So it's just you need to have a great balance. You need to have a good mindset, okay, to know exactly when it's time to pull out that perfectionist attitude and when it's time to focus on your personal and professional growth. All right. Okay, good. No more questions. All right. If there is no more questions, let's see what we can do here. If there is no more questions, we will be able to end the streams and other categories, and then we'll do the after show that I promised the people. Those of you who's on Ouvre Barrière, I did promise you an after show. So I will close the stream if there's no more questions. That will conclude, hey, the big part of it. And then I will do the after show for those of you that I told you I'll do an after show on Ouvre Barrière for you. Okay? All right. Let me see. Good. All right. I didn't see more. All right. Nope. That's it. Okay. So once again, before I let you go, okay, if you hear, this is a couple things I need you to do for me. This is the channel where the show will be aired. When I have my guests, when I have people coming, this is exactly where they're gonna be at. Okay, this is where they're gonna give you that information. I might be able to share with you on Over Barrier, but I can promise because it's gonna be so much work. So I have to make sure that I stay consistent on that category. Okay, so this is where it's going to be air. Now again, Thursdays, 8:30, we'll do a pre-show. We'll jump to the podcast, record the podcast, and do the Q&A. Okay, respond to your Q&A questions. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Respond to your Q&A questions, and then we do an after show. Now, for those of you who's in Ouvre Barrière, the after show is not always gonna be held in Ouvre Barrière, okay? Because I am trying to get you guys to grow with us. I'm trying to get you guys to move forward with us because we have so much stuff for you. Okay. Oh yes, thank you so much. Yes, the keyword is pound consistency. Here we go. Exactly, pound consistency. Okay, so I'm trying to get us to go together. So yes, so the after show sometimes is not always gonna be held on a platform and over value. Okay, just be mindful for that. Okay, so all right, so that's where we at. You can also check out ouvrebarriere.com. That's our Creole channel. That's our platform as well. So you can check it out if you're listening to me on the Johnny East side. You can check it out. You'll see some of our merch. You can see how you can contact us as we're gonna continue to build this together. Now, for those of you who's watching the Johnny E channel, this is an opportunity again to see growth. This is an opportunity for you to see something being built from the ground up. We had this channel for a long time. If you look at it, you'll see that we had different shows. We used to do Vet Talk, which was a show about veterans. Okay, and we were talking to different veterans about different things. It was good. Some of those veterans gonna be coming back, okay, to talk to us about different subjects, of course. Okay, so we're gonna continue to do that, and we have a lot of great businesses. We're gonna teach you. We're gonna show you how we create what we're creating right now. We're gonna bring those people who have those softwares out there, who have those programs out there, those cameras out there, those light out there. We're gonna bring them on board so you can see exactly how is it done. Okay, but with a twist, where can, where where you don't, not like as a guru, but as a regular person. Okay, so just like you and just like me, to show you, see, if I can do it, if you see me doing it, so you definitely will be able to do it as well. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. For those of you who's on the other platform, I'm going to let you guys go. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to our first episode. Okay, and we're gonna look back to this a couple years from now. Okay, so we can celebrate. Okay, but thank you for doing so, and thank you for staying consistent with us. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna let LinkedIn go, and I'm gonna let the Johnny E go because we're gonna switch to the Ouvri Barrière because normally we'll have a show at Ouvri Barrière at 9 o'clock. Okay, but it's not going to happen anymore, but we're going to switch to the Ouvri Barrière to do the after show on Ouvri Barrière. Ouvri Barrière, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to share the after show. The after show going to be in Creole, so I hope you're ready. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.